What if the people who hurt you the most were never your greatest enemies, but your greatest teachers? Most people spend their lives trying to avoid rejection, betrayal, criticism, and disappointment. They believe the safest path is to be liked by everyone. So they constantly seek approval, suppress their opinions, ignore their instincts, and tolerate disrespect just to keep relationships alive. Without realizing it, they slowly become emotionally dependent on other people's validation. Robert Greene believed that this is where true weakness begins. You cannot become dangerous until you become willing to get hurt emotionally. Because emotional pain reveals truths that comfort never can. When life is easy, you assume people are loyal, honest, and trustworthy. But betrayal tears away those illusions. It exposes hidden motives, fake friendships, and silent competition. Suddenly, you begin seeing people for who they really are, instead of who you hoped they were. That is why pain is one of the greatest teachers of human nature. Every betrayal forces you to ask one powerful question. Will this experience destroy me, or will it educate me? Most people choose bitterness. They replay the past, seek revenge, or spend years blaming others. Dangerous people choose something different. They study the pain instead of becoming prisoners of it. They understand that every wound contains a lesson. Every disappointment reveals a weakness that needs strengthening, and every rejection removes another illusion. Robert Greene teaches that the desire to be liked is one of the easiest ways to lose your freedom, because once people know you fear rejection, they can manipulate your decisions. You'll stay silent when you should speak, apologize when you've done nothing wrong, and sacrifice your own future just to keep someone else comfortable. But the moment you become willing to lose people, something remarkable happens. You stop begging for respect and start expecting it. You stop explaining yourself to everyone. You stop pretending to be someone you're not. Real confidence is never built by avoiding pain. It is built by surviving it. The strongest people are rarely those who have lived comfortable lives. They are the ones who have been broken, learned from every scar, and rebuilt themselves stronger than before. That is the beginning of becoming truly dangerous. Not when life stops hurting you, but when pain no longer has the power to control you. The hardest lesson Robert Greene teaches is that betrayal is not a rare event. It is a predictable part of human nature. Most people don't betray you because they always hated you. They betray you because circumstances change, opportunities appear, envy grows, or fear becomes stronger than loyalty. Human emotions are constantly shifting, and anyone who expects permanent loyalty without understanding human psychology is preparing themselves for disappointment. This truth may sound harsh, but accepting it gives you a level of emotional freedom that few people ever experience. The moment you stop expecting perfection from others, you stop being shocked by their imperfections. Instead of asking, "How could they do this to me?" you begin asking, "What warning signs did I ignore?" That single shift transforms pain into wisdom. Robert Greene believed that every betrayal leaves clues long before it happens, but emotions often blind us to reality. We ignore disrespect because we love someone. We excuse selfish behavior because we fear losing the relationship. We defend people who repeatedly show us who they really are. Then when the betrayal finally comes, we act surprised, even though the evidence had been there all along. Dangerous people train themselves to observe actions instead of promises. They understand that words are cheap, but consistent behavior reveals true character. This doesn't make them cynical. It makes them realistic. They no longer hand out trust simply because someone seems kind or speaks beautifully. Trust becomes something earned through time, consistency, and integrity. Ironically, this mindset doesn't make them colder. It makes them wiser. They can still love deeply, help generously, and build meaningful relationships, but they no longer allow emotions to overpower judgment. They understand that protecting your peace is not selfish. It is necessary. Every painful experience sharpens their awareness instead of hardening their heart. Eventually, they reach a point where betrayal no longer breaks them because they no longer build their emotional stability on other people's choices. They build it on their own character. And once your inner peace depends on your principles instead of someone else's loyalty, you become incredibly difficult to manipulate. That is the quiet power Robert Greene wanted people to develop, not a life without betrayal, but a mind that can face betrayal without losing itself. Most people believe strength means never getting hurt. Robert Greene argued the opposite. True strength begins the moment you stop fearing pain, because fear, not pain itself, is what controls most human lives. Think about how many decisions people make simply to avoid emotional discomfort. They stay in toxic relationships because they're afraid of being alone. They remain in jobs they hate because they fear uncertainty. They hide their opinions because they fear criticism. They avoid opportunities because they fear failure. In every situation, it isn't reality making the decision, it's fear. And the moment fear controls your choices, someone else controls your life. This is why emotionally dangerous people seem different. They still feel disappointment, rejection, and betrayal, but they refuse to let those emotions dictate their actions. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to move forward despite it. Every painful experience becomes evidence that they can survive more than they once believed. With each setback, they become less dependent on comfort and more confident in their ability to adapt. Robert Greene believed adaptability is one of the greatest forms of power because life constantly changes, people constantly change, and circumstances never remain the same. Those who rely on certainty eventually collapse when uncertainty arrives, but those who learn to embrace discomfort become almost impossible to intimidate. Imagine someone trying to threaten a person who is no longer afraid of rejection, failure, or criticism. What power do they really have? Very little. Manipulation only works when it finds fear to exploit. Once fear disappears, manipulation loses its grip. This is why the most powerful individuals are often the calmest during chaos. While everyone else reacts emotionally, they observe, think strategically, and respond with intention instead of impulse. They don't waste energy proving themselves to people who have already chosen not to understand them. They don't chase approval from those determined to withhold it. They simply continue moving toward their purpose. That quiet certainty is what makes them dangerous, not aggression, not anger, but emotional independence. They understand that pain is temporary, lessons are permanent, and every difficult experience strengthens the one thing nobody can take away from them: their ability to remain in control of themselves. And once you master that, the world becomes a very different place, because the greatest form of power is not controlling other people. It is reaching a point where other people can no longer control you. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that becoming powerful means learning how to control others. Robert Greene teaches something far more profound. The only lasting power comes from mastering yourself first. Most people spend years trying to change the people around them. They want others to become more loyal, more honest, more appreciative, or more loving. But human nature doesn't work that way. You cannot control another person's thoughts, emotions, or choices, no matter how much effort you invest. The only thing you truly control is your response. Yet this is where most people fail. When someone insults them, they react emotionally. When someone rejects them, they question their own worth. When someone betrays them, they allow bitterness to consume their future. In every case, they hand over their emotional control to another person. Robert Greene believed this is the greatest form of weakness because the person who controls your emotions quietly controls your life. Dangerous people understand a different principle. They refuse to give anyone that kind of power. They don't let praise inflate their ego, and they don't let criticism destroy their confidence. They understand that both admiration and rejection are temporary, opinions, not permanent truths. Instead of constantly asking, "What do people think about me?" they begin asking, "Am I becoming stronger than I was yesterday?" That shift changes everything. Their energy no longer goes toward chasing validation. It goes toward building discipline, knowledge, emotional control, and resilience. While others waste years trying to win arguments, dangerous people invest those years mastering skills. While others obsess over revenge, they quietly improve themselves until success becomes their loudest response. This is why the strongest individuals often appear silent. Silence is not weakness, it is focus. They no longer feel the need to explain every decision, defend every action, or prove every rumor wrong. They understand that people will believe whatever fits their own perception, and wasting energy trying to Control those perceptions is a battle that can never truly be won. Instead, they let consistency speak louder than words. Over time, results replace explanations, and character replaces reputation. Robert Greene reminds us that emotional discipline is far more intimidating than emotional intensity. Anyone can lose control in a moment of anger, but very few people can remain calm when they are insulted, betrayed, or misunderstood. That level of self-control sends a powerful message. My peace is too valuable to be destroyed by your behavior. And once you reach that level of emotional independence, people can no longer manipulate you through guilt, fear, praise, or criticism. They may still try, but their influence fades because your identity is no longer built on their opinions. It is built on your principles. That is the true meaning of becoming dangerous, not becoming someone who harms others, but becoming someone who has mastered themselves so completely that the world can no longer shake their foundation. There comes a moment in every person's life when they have two choices. They can spend years asking, "Why did this happen to me?" Or they can begin asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" That single question separates victims from powerful people. Robert Greene believed that the difference between ordinary and extraordinary individuals is not the amount of pain they experience, it's what they do with it. Some people allow rejection to destroy their confidence forever. Others use that same rejection as fuel to become stronger, wiser, and impossible to ignore. The event is often identical. Only the response is different. This is why dangerous people don't waste time wishing for a painless life. They understand that every setback contains information. Every criticism reveals something worth examining. Every failure exposes a weakness that can be improved. Every betrayal teaches them how to recognize character more clearly. Instead of running from these lessons, they absorb them. Slowly, pain stops feeling like punishment and starts becoming preparation. Think about a sword being forged. It doesn't become stronger by avoiding heat. It becomes stronger because it survives it. Human character is built the same way. Pressure reveals what comfort hides. Difficult moments expose your habits, your emotional discipline, and your ability to remain focused when life refuses to go according to plan. Robert Greene often reminds us that adversity strips away illusions. It forces you to stop pretending, stop making excuses, and face reality exactly as it is. That honesty becomes one of your greatest strengths because you can only improve what you're willing to confront. Most people spend their lives protecting their ego instead of improving their character. They blame circumstances, bad luck, or other people for every disappointment. Dangerous people do the opposite. They take responsibility for the only thing they truly own, their response. Responsibility is not about accepting blame for everything that happens. It is about refusing to let your future be controlled by your past. The moment you stop saying, "They ruined my life," and start saying, "This experience made me stronger," you take your power back. That doesn't erase the pain, but it changes its purpose. Your scars stop reminding you of what you lost and begin reminding you of what you survived. And once you reach that point, something extraordinary happens. The people who once tried to break you no longer occupy your thoughts. You no longer need revenge because your growth becomes the answer. Your success becomes the response. Your peace becomes the victory. That is why Robert Greene teaches that the most dangerous people are rarely the loudest or the most aggressive. They are the ones who quietly transform every wound into wisdom, every failure into experience, and every painful chapter into the foundation of an unshakable future. They don't allow life to harden their hearts. They allow it to sharpen their minds. And in a world where most people remain trapped by their past, that ability becomes one of the greatest forms of power anyone can possess. In the end, the greatest transformation has nothing to do with becoming feared by others. It has everything to do with becoming free from the need for their approval. Robert Greene believed that the strongest people are not those who dominate every room, but those who no longer depend on applause, acceptance, or constant reassurance to know their worth. Those people unknowingly spend their entire lives performing for an audience. They choose careers to impress strangers, hide their true opinions to avoid criticism, and chase relationships simply to feel complete. Every decision is quietly influenced by one question: What will people think? The problem with living this way is that your happiness becomes permanently attached to opinions you can never control. So the moment someone disapproves of you, your confidence begins to collapse. But the person who has accepted rejection, survived betrayal, and learned from disappointment reaches a completely different level of freedom. They no longer wake up trying to convince the world of their value because they have already proven it to themselves. Their confidence comes from discipline rather than compliments, from character rather than reputation, and from purpose rather than popularity. This is why they appear calm even when others misunderstand them. They know that not everyone is supposed to agree with them. They understand that criticism is often the price of growth and that every meaningful path attracts resistance. Robert Greene reminds us that if you spend your life trying to avoid enemies, you'll also avoid greatness, because anyone who stands for something eventually stands against someone else's expectations. Truly dangerous people accept this reality without becoming bitter. They don't seek conflict, but they don't run from it either. They are willing to lose relationships that demand they betray themselves. They are willing to walk away from environments that no longer support their growth. They are willing to disappoint others if it means remaining loyal to their own principles. That willingness makes them incredibly difficult to manipulate because fear no longer guides their decisions. They don't confuse kindness with weakness or confidence with arrogance. They simply refuse to negotiate their self-respect for temporary acceptance. And perhaps that is Robert Greene's deepest lesson of all. The people who become impossible to control are not those who never experience pain. They are the ones who stop allowing pain to define them. They stop chasing validation, stop fearing rejection, and stop depending on others to complete their identity. Instead, they build a life so grounded in purpose, discipline, and emotional mastery that no betrayal can destroy it. So if life has hurt you, don't ask why it happened. Ask what it revealed. If people have disappointed you, don't let that experience make you fearful. Let it make you wiser. Every scar has the potential to become strength if you're willing to learn from it. Because the moment you stop needing everyone to understand you, approve of you, or choose you, you become something rare. You become emotionally independent. You become strategically aware. You become impossible to manipulate. And that is what Robert Greene truly means by becoming dangerous. Not someone who controls other people, but someone who has mastered themselves so completely that no person, no betrayal, and no hardship can ever take away their inner power again.